Today I'm going to be talking about the hidden formula so that you can score 100% on every single exam, and most people give you the tips that will score you average marks because they are only focusing on one aspect of the exam, maximizing marks. These kinds of tips will actually help you get average marks, right? You will get a satisfactory mark. But when you're thinking about 90s, 100s, these are excellent marks. These are the type of marks that only students that know it 100% with no errors will get that kind of mark. So there's two things that you mainly need to focus on. Firstly, maximizing marks and minimizing errors. Also, all of the marks that you will get will only happen with one thing: improvement. The marks that you will get are defined by what you did when you got the results of your last examination. Most people, when they get the results, oh my gosh, this wasn't good enough, and I'm so upset with this mark that I got. I need to try harder next time. What do you need to try harder on? You didn't analyze anything. You have no idea what to do, okay? So this goes to tip number 1. You need to analyze the entire exam paper. Every single mark should be accounted for. I literally open up a page right after every single exam, 2 pages, and I literally start writing 1 mark lost for this, 1 mark lost for this, 2 marks lost for this, 4 marks lost for this, whatever how many marks it was that you lost, write them down on a piece of paper. Write every single mark that you lost on a piece of paper and find out how you lost that mark. What kind of error was it? Because there are 2 types of errors. There's a genuine lack of knowledge, that you genuinely have never studied the topic. If you didn't study it, how the heck are you gonna actually answer in the exam? That's a genuine lack of knowledge. But then there's the types of errors where you knew the content, you knew the topic, but it was a silly mistake. Or it was a careless error, or maybe you were stressed, or maybe you didn't regulate your time well enough, or maybe it was an execution problem. There are many different types of problems in examinations. Some of them rely on your genuine lack of knowledge. If so, you need to improve. But if it's one of these, then you need to find out how to improve based on the context of every single situation, right? If it was a multi-step problem and you weren't able to execute that, then after, for the next examination, you need to practice a lot of multi-step and also find out how to execute it. If it was a timing problem that you didn't have enough time, you need to do timed practice papers and do it again and again and again until you have the timing nailed. Until the timing is absolutely perfect. So that when you're doing your examination, it will be incredibly easy for you to answer that paper because that was your problem in the last exam. And this way you won't lose marks again in the next examination. Okay, tip number 2 is maximizing marks. Everybody on YouTube is talking about maximizing marks, right? Nobody's talking about minimizing errors, but I also tell you how to maximize marks. Maximizing marks is the hardest part, okay? Maximizing marks is all about what topic it is, what subject it is, because you cannot study the same way for every single subject. You cannot study for the same kind of exam when it's a different exam every single time, okay? Maybe if it's a social studies exam, you're not going to study for the same way you're going to study for a maths exam, okay? There are certain strategies like active recall, but they don't apply for every single subject. Analyze yourself and analyze how you can maximize those marks in order to get 100% every single time. There is a formula for 100%, and I'm telling you that exactly in today's video, okay? What you need to do, right, for maximizing marks is having knowledge, okay? Because what did I talk about at the beginning? Genuine lack of knowledge. When you don't have knowledge about a topic, right, that is when you have the most marks cut. And when you have knowledge, that is where you gain the most marks. A lot of the times why you're stuck being average is because you've nailed the maximizing marks part, but you have no idea how to minimize the errors. You have no idea how to minimize the mistakes. For maximizing the marks, focus on active recall, studying, having proper focus, not being distracted. I hate this mindset of people giving you useless motivation. No, just do it. If this sentence is not good enough for you, you honestly don't deserve it. Because there are thousands, there are millions of people that want the same thing as you. Everybody wants it, okay? Everybody wants to get good grades. Everyone wants to be that girl. Everyone wants to be rich. Everyone wants the same thing. So why do you think you're gonna get it? No, I always ask myself this question. This is the type of question that I ask myself every single day. Alina, everybody wants what you want, right? Everything that you have, everything that you desire is something that millions of other people desire as well, right? Human beings, we have the same desires, right? We all want to be successful. So then why is it that you're going to get what you want? You have to be motivated enough to get that. Okay, this is a simple philosophy, and if this cannot motivate you, nothing will motivate you. Okay? Enough is enough after a point. Now that you're focused, now that you're motivated, focus on maximizing your marks by having proper knowledge, doing the proper strategies. I have thousands of strategies. I literally on my channel talk about how to read fast, how to take good notes. It's all on my channel. Please go ahead and look at it based on what exam you're giving. It's different for every single examination and I cannot cover it in a short video. That's why you should go ahead and look at my other videos, because I have lots of different topics and lots of different very hyper specific solutions to many problems that students face on this channel. Focus on high scoring areas in the examination. Nobody is going to look at those very small one line definitions. No, you have done many exams in the past and you know how these examiners are making these exams. Find out in your brain and start thinking from the perspective of an examiner. When your teacher is going to be marking your assessment, how are they going to be marking it? What are they looking for? Identify high scoring areas and identify how the examiners are going to be marking you. By combining both of these things, you now have the perfect study guide based on your particular situation. Then you incorporate the maximizing marks and then minimizing errors, and now you have the perfect formula to get 100 marks in every single examination every single time. Now, me personally, I want you to know that having 100 marks every single time is a very tedious process. You need to do the maximizing marks and the minimizing errors flawlessly. There cannot be no mistakes. It has to be flawlessly done, and that is the only way that you're going to be able to get 100 marks. It is possible. I've given you the formula, but now it is up to you to go ahead and employ that formula. For me personally, in every single examination, I look at the stakes. Is it worth it for me to get 100 marks in this examination? Is this a very important situation? Then of course, yes, I'm going to try my very best to do my personal best in that particular examination. Having a toxic mindset where you think that every single time you didn't get 100% is sad and you get depressed, oh my god, I did this much work. If you aim high, you're going to get high, right? Maybe not as high as you would like, but you're still going to get high. So none of your effort will be in vain, okay? None of your effort will be in vain. So do that effort, right? Aim for 100 and expect less. Aim for 100 but expect less, and that is how you'll be productive, but you won't get burnt out easily because you're expecting less but you're working for a very high amount. Keep working for those high amounts and one day you'll get those high amounts. But if you don't, then expect less. Expect less, okay? Mistakes happen. It's a natural part of being a human being, but you need to improve, you need to incorporate these tips, and you need to make sure that at least now with this video, you know how to get 100 marks. It's not something that like, oh, you know, I wish. It's not an I wish situation anymore because it is very clear to you. You need to minimize errors and you need to maximize marks, and there's certain ways that you have to do that, which is exactly what I discussed in this video. For more videos like this one that are very comprehensive, that I actually share things that have actually helped me, things that I've actually learned from a lot of trial and error, make sure to subscribe, because I feel like there's not a lot of people that are giving students the right type of motivation, the right type of, you know, advice. And I actually share things that I've learned personally, and I genuinely never share things that I've heard online. Because me personally, I haven't heard this online. This is kind of the kind of thing where I've learned it recently, and I've also incorporated it recently in my life. And I know a lot of people might think the same way as me, but all of my experiences are shown on this channel, right? I share all of my ideas. Now, I want you to tell me in the comments, what are your strategies for maximizing marks and reducing errors? I want to learn from you guys. I want to learn from your experiences. I shared my experiences, I shared my preferences, and I shared my technique for getting 100%. I want to know what your technique is. What is your formula for getting 100%? Because I love learning from you guys, and I know that I share a lot of tips on my channel, but that means that I also want to learn from you guys so I can also incorporate it into my life. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.